Good everyone, it's Michael Jones here, and I'm sorry for this late update on hashtag Vigilante. I've been trying to get the characters done. It's been like a very busy few months, so sorry about that. But I just want to give you guys a quick update and a little elaboration on this limited anime series I'm working on trying to develop for you. A little background hashtag Vigilante. Hashtag Vigilante is not just going to be a stereotypical superhero, vigilante type. It's going to be some horror elements, sort of like what they're doing with New Mutants. It's still going to have the same, superhero type of elements, fighting bad guys, villains, stuff like that. But, the same type of, vigilante type. But it's also going to have some horror elements. It's going to be a lot of action. And it's just going to be something a little different. I'm trying to, flip the script a little bit, excuse me, and kind of change the game a little bit, give somebody something fresh. I know it's hard to do sometimes, without going too crazy, but I want to give people a little bit something fresh and something new. As you see on the screen right here, that's what the main hero looks like. His name is Jay Damien. The reason why he doesn't have the stereotypical superhuman name because it's more of a business name. Like I said, some backstory with hashtag Vigilante. Hashtag Vigilante is not really is about an app that helps people who kind of like a private investigation app. And what it does is people who have problems that the police can't solve or don't want to solve or, you know, just, pass under the rug, they go into this app. You use the app features to tell your story and all that. Facial recognition, you know, takes your picture, so to make sure your story is make sure that you are who you say you are and that your story is legit. And then they go out and they solve the crime. It's something like the Equalizer, something like that, something on those lines. Also a little bit about the story. It revolves, it starts off with, this kid, who creates this app, with the help of his uncle and his other friends, and they go out and they, solve crimes here and there. And what happens is that they get involved in some series of murders that that are happening against not just regular people, but happening against the criminal element. Politicians, very high end people. These are high end murders. It's not just prostitutes or anything like that. These are high end murders, and one of the reasons why they get involved in it is because a family member gets caught up in it, and he has to say, have to figure out what happened to save his family member. But this is what the costume's going to look like. I don't want to give too much of his abilities right now, and this is still really reworking the character. Still might make some touches. There's going to be a few changes to some characters, along the way. I got some retouches done, but this is how he looks now. A little different than how he look, how he looked before. I'm trying to like do something with the cloak cape thing, to make it a little better. But right now, this is how he looks. And this is the kid. This is what he looks like when he's out of costume. His name is Santana Jordan. Little back history says Santana Jordan. He's not a regular human being. He was born higher on the evolutionary scale than the rest of humanity. He belongs to a tribe, a secret lost tribe that no one believes exists, except the only evidence that it ever might have existed is this pendant on his necklace that he always wears that was given to his grandfather. Outside of that, no one even knows or ever heard of this tribe or even believed it existed. Not even Santana, except for that little pendant. His powers come from because he was not only is he a little higher on the evolutionary scale than the rest of humans. He also has a power called the Burning Vein, and that's where he gets his abilities from. So he's like kind of like the elite member, like whether it's royalty or whether it's their main guard. He doesn't know which, but he's like one of the elite or one of their main guards. That's why he has the burning vein that you can see on his arm. He's a little different than a lot of other teenage. I mean, he's 15 years old. He's a child prodigy, mainly because his average IQ runs in 190. So his IQ is just normal to him, normal to people like him, to the tribe. All their abilities were like 190. Sorry about that. So He's like a real genius kid, but he doesn't act like the stereotypical genius kids. He doesn't have the same hangups with not fitting in, or anything like that. To him, his powers are just normal. Everything to him is just normal. So, and also, he doesn't have the same hangups like a lot of other superheroes have. He's not really too compelled to be a superhero. He doesn't really think of himself as a superhero. He thinks of himself more just someone trying to make money, like an entrepreneur. This is just another entrepreneurial step he just jumped into. So, so he's not really compelled like a Spider-Man or you know um he's not, but he will handle his business when it comes down to it. But he's not like a whiner, like some superheroes about whining about their dual identity and who they really are and all this crap. He knows who he is. He's Santana Jordan. Everything else is secondary. So he's a little different. How he treats villains is a little different. He's a little bit more harder on villains than a lot of other like superheroes be. He doesn't really mess around and play. Because, because he, like I said, this is more of a business thing to him. So he might be a little more brutal to some villains, not on a Punisher scale, but or a Wolverine scale, but more on a scale like he's gonna really hurt you. Like if Batman went off on a villain, he could really hurt somebody. So this is how he looks. There's gonna be a few tweaks to the character a little bit. Kind of hairstyle a little bit, but this is his overall look. I think it's kind of cool. It was drawn by, Jamal Thomas. Pretty much some of these pictures were drawn by Jamal Thomas. It's pretty cool. The first one was drawn by Discal Arts. I hope I said that right. I'll give you a little bit more on the artist descriptions, in future videos. But this is how Santana Jordan looks. And here's his uncle. This is Caesar Jordan. Is his uncle, and the unique thing about Caesar Jordan is he's a villain, or a happily retired villain, a happily retired criminal genius. Unlike a lot of other, criminal geniuses, he worked in the sidelines, in the dark. No one ever seen his face. No one knows his back history. And the thing about him is, to him, villainy was just a game. It wasn't never to him. It was never about good or evil. It was like a chess match. So what you're seeing is, so he didn't really get too involved in good or evil. Also, not only did he go after the good guys, he also went after the bad guys as well. So he's not very loved, but no one really knows his face. No one knows who the hell he is. They only call him Cerebral because instead of using his abilities to kill people, he would outthink them. He would outthink them and pretty much drive them crazy by outthinking them. He's happily retired, not because he saw the error of his ways and all that. It's because he just doesn't want to do it anymore. And he thinks that people nowadays, everybody wants to be the bad guy and there's no thrill. He's not really too keen on helping Santana in this. But, as you get older, you get a little nostalgia, and that's what he thinks it is. He had a falling out with Santana's father a long, long time ago when they were kids. And, so he doesn't know anything about being an uncle or anything like that. He's just pretty much like, he just feels like he's an uncle by name. So him and Santana have kind of a strange relationship a little bit. And it's going to be explored a little bit more. They don't know how they feel about each other because, Santana rarely ever saw him, and he doesn't really, and Caesar is not the father type, so it's kind of like they have a really strange dynamic. But it's going to be explored a little bit more in the series. And these are two of the supporting characters. The woman with the white hoodie on, her name is Tribeca Hamilton. And the guy with the red hoodie is Kenny Wantabe. And they're police officers of the Boston PD, but they're police officers of the Boston PD's Enigma unit, which is, they handle cases that a lot of other police officers won't handle. And they have some of the best high-end equipment, cutting-edge equipment, bleeding-edge equipment. And, they go after, and they might even have, some of them might even have some abilities. I'm still working on that. I don't want to get, get too deep into that with the Enigma unit, but They're they're like their top cops in it. The thing about Tribeca is the one unique thing about her is she's on the take. She's been on the take since early part of her, since she was a rookie, pretty much since she got out of the academy. But the thing is though, now that she's in this unit, she wants to change her ways. The problem is, the son of the former crime boss who had her ticket still has it, and he's tasked her to find out more about these murders and stop them because these guys are going after people like him. This guy's going after people like him, so she's kind of in a rock and a hard place. Kenjiro, he's kind of like the rebel of the group, even though he doesn't feel like a rebel. He's Japanese American. He's a little different than a lot of other cops. He believes in the Enigma unit. He just doesn't like the bullshit that goes on with the with all the red tape with the police and all that. He thinks there's something more to these murders than just serial killings or going after bad guys. He really thinks that there's something deeper, and he doesn't know she's on the take, but he kind of got like some whisper. But he knew that her field training officer when she was a rookie was on the take, so he has so he has a little side eye towards her. But these two are gonna have an interesting dynamic. It's not gonna be a romantic dynamic like you see in other shows. It's more of a brother and sister type of thing, somewhat. I don't want to make it get too deep into it. They're partners, but the thing is though, they deep down they really don't trust each other a little bit, because she's worried that he's gonna find out, and he has a side eye because he knows her partner was on the take. So they're gonna have a very interesting dynamic. They're also gonna have an interesting dynamic with Santana and his alter ego. So it's gonna be it's gonna be deep how I'm gonna do these characters. It's gonna be fun. So they're gonna be some fun characters. A little bit of comic relief. Some here and there, but not in a dumb way. And they're gonna it's gonna be real fun how I'm gonna do these characters. And here's the main crazy, as I like to call him. His name is Zero Red, and he's the main villain of the series. It might be some tweaks to this character a little bit. I got an idea of how I really want this character, so there might be some tweaks to him. Might be a different look, but he's a little different. There's gonna be some surprises with him. I don't want to give too much away. As you can see here on his hands, he's gonna have some kind of like sword type of things that's come from his hands, and he's gonna have a psych, like the Grim Reaper. And like I said, it's gonna be a little tweaks to him, but he's like the main bad guy, the main crazy of the story, and he's gonna be tied to some very powerful people, to a very powerful person in the story. So this is gonna be so I don't want to give too much away, but it's gonna link together who he is and why he's doing what he's doing. Well, okay, thanks everyone. That's my quick analysis of that's my quick update. I'm sorry, quick update of #Vigilante. There'll be more to come. I hope everybody tunes in and support my channel, my YouTube channel on this. I really want I'm really gonna push this for this year. Hopefully I can get something done hopefully I can get, at least something in the works by, before June, maybe even earlier than that, because I really think this is going to be a new kind of series. Like I said, I love anime and I love horror and I love, superheroes and comic books. So I'm trying to mix all of them together. And so stay tuned and thank you very much.